Have you ever noticed that the kindest people you know often carry the heaviest burdens? The ones who always say yes, who drop everything to help, who take on the tasks no one else wants, they're not always as happy as they seem. Behind their smiles, there's often a hidden struggle, a quiet battle that most people never see. There's a big difference between genuine kindness and people-pleasing. Genuine kindness comes from choice, from a place of values and personal integrity. People-pleasing comes from fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of disappointing others, fear of being judged. That fear turns kindness into a cage, trapping people in patterns they didn't choose. When someone constantly puts others first, it's not just about helping. They're carrying everyone else's emotional weight and ignoring their own. Frustration when someone takes advantage of them? Swallowed. Anger when their schedule is overflowing? Hidden. Resentment building up over weeks, months, or years? Smiled through. Research shows that bottling up emotions doesn't just hurt the mind, it hurts the body. Depression, anxiety, chronic stress, headaches, muscle tension, and weakened immunity are all linked to unexpressed feelings. The body literally pays the price for constant self-neglect, and over time, that pressure can feel unbearable. Over time, people-pleasers reach a breaking point. Years of giving without limits can leave them questioning why they even bother. They may feel robotic, going through the motions of life, trapped in habits formed out of fear. And the hardest part? They start losing sight of who they truly are. When your life revolves around pleasing others, your identity becomes wrapped up in being the nice one. Step outside that role, or even think about saying no, and suddenly you feel lost. Psychologists call this identity erosion. It's isolating, confusing, and deeply painful. Here's the paradox. People-pleasers believe their constant generosity will earn appreciation and harmony. But the opposite usually happens. Without boundaries, others don't notice the effort. It becomes expected. When the pleaser inevitably reaches their limit, people feel let down. This cycle builds resentment, guilt, and even sudden bursts of anger that surprise everyone, including themselves. Think about the coworker who always stays late to finish projects no one else wants. Everyone thanks them, but no one sees the exhaustion behind the smile. Or the friend who drives across town to help with errands, sacrificing their own rest and personal time. Or the family member who organizes every gathering, taking care of everyone else's needs while ignoring their own. These acts appear selfless, but inside, the cost quietly accumulates. Another common example is the person who always volunteers for extra responsibilities at work, school, or in the community. At first, it feels good to help. But when the load keeps growing, it becomes exhausting. They feel trapped because saying no seems impossible, and over time, their health, energy, and mental clarity start to suffer. Here's a hard truth people-pleasers need to hear. It's not always about generosity. Often, it's about control, trying to manage how others see you to feel worthy, accepted, and safe. That constant yes is driven by anxiety, not pure kindness. And the result? By hiding behind a mask of agreeableness, real intimacy becomes impossible. Nobody, even themselves, gets to see who they truly are. People-pleasing is often an unconscious way to avoid conflict or judgment. But by trying to control how others perceive you, it pushes genuine connection further away. You're trapped between being helpful and hiding your own needs, and over time, it becomes exhausting. The solution isn't about becoming selfish or cold. It's about learning authentic kindness, which includes being kind to yourself. Saying no doesn't make you a bad person, it makes you honest. Some people may be disappointed, and that's okay. Your worth doesn't depend on how much you do for others. You cannot pour from an empty cup. The healthiest, most fulfilled people aren't the ones who never say no. They're the ones who say yes from choice, not fear. They give because they want to, not because they feel obligated. Start small. Say no to one request or task that doesn't feel right for you. It could be a favor, a social invitation, or an extra responsibility at work. Notice how it feels. You may feel guilt at first, but over time, you'll see that boundaries strengthen relationships rather than weaken them. Real strength isn't in endless selflessness. It's in self-awareness, self-respect, and the courage to be authentically kind. Protect your time, your energy, and your heart. That's how you reclaim yourself while still being generous. Remember, kindness is not measured by sacrifice alone. True kindness begins with yourself. By honoring your own needs, you build the capacity to care for others without losing yourself in the process. If you found yourself constantly trying to make everyone happy, start today. Say no once. Stand up for your own time and space. Real generosity comes from choice, not obligation. Over time, this simple act of self-respect will make every yes you give more meaningful, joyful, and authentic. Take a moment to reflect. Are you giving because you want to, or because you're afraid to disappoint someone? That awareness is the first step toward freedom. When you start choosing yourself without guilt, you'll notice your energy, your relationships, and your happiness improve. It's not selfish to protect yourself. It's necessary. By respecting your own limits, you create a life where your kindness is sustainable, heartfelt, and truly empowering for you and for everyone around you.